Okay, hey everybody, Kenny here, and I'm gonna do my best to make this as spoiler-free as possible. This is going to take me I'm only gonna do something quick. I need to process the movie that I just watched. Just walked out of Captain Marvel, and it was opening night, and I wasn't actually even planning on going tonight, but thanks to my lovely wife Tosh, she talked me into it. So I went. All right, so lots to unpack with this movie, but all in all, it was absolutely excellent. Now, this isn't like Wonder Woman, and the reason why I'm doing this comparison is because this is Marvel's first woman-led hero movie, and Wonder Woman was DC's first. So with those two kind of like lining up, while one was a story of a journey of a hero coming into her own, this one was more so of an established soldier that had to uncover her past, if you will. And I mean, that's apparent from the first 5 minutes of the movie. Again, lots to unpack. There's a lot of amazing acting in this movie, some great talent, and of course this movie is set in the 90s, and if you didn't know that, it's set in the 90s. So the soundtrack is very, very nostalgic for people my age, because I mean that was middle and high school for me. So a lot of the songs, the music in this has amazing cues that really just enhance it, and Marvel's been really good about that anyway. But with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, they did a really, really good job of utilizing music to accentuate the action, and not just the score, but like the popular music. And Captain Marvel is no different. With this one, there's been, Brie Larson, the lead actress, has been getting a lot of heat for how she, some of the comments that she's made about people reviewing the movie and going to see the movie. And I think a lot of the media has kind of skewed her approach to it. But she owns this role from moment one. And the thing about this movie is you could tell that everybody in the movie is having fun. Every character, every actor and actress, they're having fun with these roles that they're playing. There are some really nice little surprises, and again, being that this movie kind of takes place in the past of the general Marvel continuity, there's a lot of little echoes, like pre-echoes, if you will, or at least you can see this is where the pebbles have been dropped that ripple out into the movies that we have seen over the past 10 years. I'm trying to think of what else I can say that's not really spoilery. Sam Jackson. This is by far my favorite outing of Nick Fury. And again, this is kind of like a pre-jaded Nick Fury, but he shows his real comedic timing in this movie, and it kind of harkens back to the buddy cop movies of the 90s. I don't know how to really put it. He just has some really, really killer lines. There's a couple of twists and turns in this movie. So try to stay spoiler free, because there are some things that you won't expect. And for people that are, from the comic base, I'm looking at you, Gomi, Chris, and Brian, several other people that know these storylines. There's a few twists and turns in here that I think are, really, really good. Also, let's see, there are some characters that we've seen in like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, that you essentially see them at an earlier point in their lives as well. Not really a spoiler, you can see them in the character list. Goose is awesome. You'll understand what I'm talking about when you see the movie. Goose kind of steals the show a little bit. Let's see what else. There's just one thing that I really want to say about the movie that I can't, because it'll be very, very, very heavy spoilers. But if you've seen the movie, shoot me a message. Just shoot me a message or post on my wall that you've seen it. So I want to talk to somebody about a very specific portion of, or theme, I should say, in this movie, especially in the in the last in the third act. Let's see what else. There's also, for parents that are thinking about bringing your kids, totally fine. I don't think there's really anything that's going to be there's no like real jump scares or anything like that. So there's nothing really that's no trigger warnings or anything like that. Marvel keeps it for the kids. This one, there's no real like super dark elements to this movie, but it still has a very solid plot. It makes sense. Also, Annette Bening, I'm going to. That's one thing I do want to say with Jude Law and Annette Bening especially. The contacts that they have in those characters' eyes, it almost takes you out of the story a little bit, being that we've seen them, in other roles without these very, very bright contacts. I'm not sure why that's something that really stands out to me. But, and there's one moment, yes, that's another thing. There's one moment in this movie with Annette Bening that just had the entire theater chuckling. This was one of those movies that I think, similar to Aquaman, that you leave the theater just feeling good. You just have a good feeling. It was a good time. And yeah, Sheena, no problem. I really think that there's a lot of movies that have come out as of late that you think is going to be safe for your kids, and then they throw in, a couple of elements that you regret bringing them in. This one, I think, is pretty tame in regards. I would say that the only thing that might be leery of parents is, if you remember the original Men in Black movie, there's a couple of moments in that movie, not involving Edgar the Roachman, but more so dealing with some of the other aliens that might have shocked kids back in the day. I mean, I don't know if it's really shocking at all, but it's kind of similar to that, but it's nothing that's really like gross. There's no real, there's no bloodletting or anything like that. There's, again, Marvel keeps it family safe, just because, Disney. So anyway, highly recommend you go take the time, go out on a date, go out by yourself. It doesn't matter. I totally think you should go see this movie if you have the chance to see it in IMAX, especially if it's Regal. They give out these really, really cool cards. I've been collecting these. If you have any of these that you don't want, feel free to send them to me, because I collect these like commemorative cards. And of course, as always, it's a Marvel movie. Stay all the way through to the end of the movie, through the end of the credits. Not just the first credit scene, but there's a second credit scene. So sit down, relax. If you have to go to the bathroom, make sure that you go to the bathroom before the movie starts. Plain as that. And then, yeah, the next Marvel movie that's up is Endgame, and I think that's in a month. There was a preview for Shazam, the DC's Captain Marvel. Totally recommend that one as well. That one looks like it's gonna be just another fun one. That stinks, Sheen. I'm sorry you don't have an IMAX. But yeah, so this is, I think Marvel's gonna be owning this summer with. I know Captain Marvel is nowhere near summer, but this one's going to run for a little while. It's going to make Marvel a buttload of money. And it has especially, that's another thing. That's one thing I will say. Just like with Wonder Woman. See, for me, Wonder Woman had a little bit of it pulled at my heartstrings just because, I grew up. Wonder Woman is part of the DC Trinity, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. And frankly, she is the strongest of the bunch cinematic-wise in recent years. But when it comes to this one, this is another one that I highly recommend that you bring your daughters to. And honestly, bring your sons too, just so that everyone, big family event, everyone go in and go see the movie. Just because it's a really good way to show this might be controversial what I'm about to say, but unlike Supergirl on CW, this is, you know, it does have that girl power, but without it saying, oh, hi, look, I have a healthy serving of girl power. No, it actually does it's just nice, subtle way of showing a strong female character that is powerful. She is learning, she's getting on her own 2 feet, and she's really, and she brings good, she carries the movie. I wasn't, I'm not that mega familiar with Captain Marvel. There's been several different incarnations throughout the years in the comics, and I know that she was heavy in the original Civil War comic series. But this take on Carol Danvers with, which I think is funny that Captain Marvel is Carol Danvers, and then Supergirl is Kara Danvers. Anyway, they don't really link up. But anyway, so I totally got sidetracked. With this movie, again, really recommend it. Go see it. The crowd all loved it. Everyone, I mean, people were clapping. And there's also, I will say, spoilers, just from right out the gate when, Marvel has normally when Marvel starts out their movies, they have like you see all the different quick shots of all their movies over the past 10 years. And they have that big triumphant score, the dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 and they're showing like Captain America tossing his shield, and you see Iron Man and the Hulk, and you see shots from all the Avengers movies. But this one, and again, I wasn't ready for this, but this one, it was just nothing but shots of Stan Lee going through in all the different movies, all his different cameos, and at the very end of it just says thanks, Stan. And that was just like that kind of killed me a little bit, because we knew that at some point in time he was going to be gone, and they were going to do a tribute like that. So this was the first movie since his passing that they really were able to give him that nice big send off and thanks for the one of the greats that started it all. So again, Captain Marvel, totally worth it. Go see it in the theater, see it with people around you, because it'll just enhance the experience. Get ready for Avengers Endgame. That's going to be another good one. And yeah, once you guys see it, hit me up. I want to just talk to people about it, because it was a really, really good movie, and I want to talk spoilers. So anyway, I need to drive home. It's 10 o'clock. See you later, guys.